What is up, everybody? It's Matt with Mikey Designs here with Shannon, the shop gnome. And we are going to hang out for a little while some of you guys chime in and we'll talk about screen printing if anybody has some questions. Really, that's what this segment is for. We're just going to answer some of your screen printing questions, and we even have some that we're going to read off. I'll see if I can't get Shannon's help with that a little bit, but there are a few questions that people had over the week that have posted onto some of our videos just as comments, and I thought that they were pretty good questions, and I'll bring them up. Shannon will bring some up. I'm sure some of you guys will have your own questions. So we're going to hang out and wait for some people to tune in and see what kind of questions everybody has. Shannon, you want to say hello?
Hello, this is Shannon the shop gnome, and I love you all.
We hope everybody's week has been going well. This past week for us has been, let's just say, epic. And we're still, part of that last week is still kind of trailing into this week a little bit. But
It's been a nightmare.
I think we are kind of getting things on track a day at a time. One of the things that running your own business tends to take up a lot of your time. So when there's personal things that go on, like your transmission going out in your vehicle,
And the other car being not at the shop.
yes, we have to go and get Shannon's car so we have a ride, but also there's some other things going on behind the scenes. But anyways, we've been kind of doing the Uber thing, and it's actually been kind of cool at the same time, but also, I don't know, it's been quite the experience. It's weird riding in somebody else's car, even though everybody's been friendly
And the cars always smell so nice.
for the most part. Hey, what's up, Gabriel Lopez?
Hey, Uproar.
Oh,
You're
you-
one of my favorites. I love you.
You thought it was Tuesday, huh? Well, it is Monday, the day that nobody really likes. Monday. That is the day. What's up, Uproar?
You know the world started on a Tuesday.
Did it?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, it's because everybody just didn't want to talk about that Monday. Nobody likes Mondays. Do you like Mondays, Shannon? You like Monday,
it really
Shannon?
depends. Did I get to sleep the weekend before? Then they're fine.
No, it's
Lately,
well,
I haven't liked Mondays.
I don't even know what a Monday is.
What's up, Mark?
Mondays tend to be just another work day, and Saturday and Sundays is just when we really don't have people calling us or walking in as much. So
Or I just don't feel bad about ignoring emails.
there you go. I'll just
I
pick
am
that
off.
up. I'll just pick that up Monday.
Sincere Jamrock. Hi, guys.
Hey, what's
guys.
up, Mark? Sincere Jamrock. What's going on? Thanks for tuning in. We're if you're just tuning in, we're just kind of giving it a moment for some of you guys to join in. Since our show is new, we really it's see. I mean, like for instance, Gabriel thought it was Tuesday, and we're doing them on Monday. So as soon as this whole little show that we put on Mondays starts gaining some momentum, we'll kick off the show a lot sooner. In other words, I'll get off this stupid hold screen, and you can look at my mug while Shannon talks on the other side of the room.
But for now, we can just tell you about like one of the most terrible, horrible, no good, very bad days we had. The transmission went out, which really
Yeah.
puts a kink in, the ability to even ship stuff or deliver shirts or pick up shirts for last minute things. The business phone went
I kinda
out.
don't mind
that
that.
same time the business phone went out. That day, while we were printing, the power went out. God, I swear there were like 15 other things, but now I'm drawing a blank. But those were the ones that really stuck out to me.
Yeah, that was like problems in threes kind of a thing with the transmission, and
Hey,
then
Charles.
the phone lines nationally going down with Comcast. Comcast, I'm not sure how I feel about you anymore. You let me down. And then
Has
power
anybody
went
ever
out.
liked Comcast? Okay, not gonna talk shit.
I think
Okay.
people just don't like the expensive cost that comes with these utilities, and you get the cheap ones because you don't want to pay as much. Then they're not as reliable. But then a massive company like Comcast drops phone lines all over the United States, and it's like, why are we paying you money?
But on the bright side,
And
we're getting a new car.
and why are you such like it's a huge monopoly, and then the phone lines go out for everybody, and it kind of sucks. What's
And then
up,
the
Charles?
power just went out.
Did we say what's up to Charles?
I did.
Charles Ezernak, welcome back, dude.
Wait, what's going on with the
Yeah,
hurricane?
unexpected expenses suck. They do suck.
Hi, Tim. Wait, seriously though, what's going on with the hurricane? Because seriously, last year we did not know about Harvey. We went to the grocery
No.
store. We went, why is all the water gone? So,
Well, I remember
what's going
seeing
on with the hurricane?
the one down by
I feel like I need to know
Mexico.
this.
Uproar, is that the one that you're talking about? Because we don't really keep up with all that stuff until we notice water and all the food is gone, and we're like, what the heck is going on?
We ate pancakes for a week.
Hey, what's up, Tim?
I said, hey.
I'm saying hey now.
Oh, well, fine.
What's up,
Hurricane
Tim?
Blake.
Hurricane Blake. So that must be the second one. I think that one over by Mexico was, I don't remember what its name was, but it was the first of the season, wasn't it? Yeah, hurricanes. They're so stupid.
And we just
Exciting,
moved into a
but
new area that
stupid too.
we're praying did not flood last year.
Yeah. So
Property manager told us it didn't flood, but he also promised us a breeze in the frickin' shop, and so far, not so much of a breeze.
yeah, it's not that bad. It's much better than when it was in the garage. I got no breeze. That was miserable with the 100+ degrees, and then you're running an oven and a flash dryer or a
I
flash
think it's
cure,
hotter
whatever you
on
want
my
to call.
side now.
You think so? It's
Yeah.
probably because the sun hits you a lot.
The sun hits me. I'm on the open end of the
Yeah.
conveyor dryer, and I am used to a breeze.
At the house, you were the sun rose where the garage door is open. So normally it was on the other side of the house, so you didn't get all that.
Now I just cook.
Yeah, now you're just getting your tan on, getting your farmer's tan on.
There is no tan, honey. I'm clear.
I
Remember,
know,
I
you
just
just-
burn.
You just turn into lobster. You lobster up. It's amazing.
Thank you. All right.
We'll get you some of that spray tan stuff.
Mark doesn't get hurricanes, but you get tornadoes, though, I bet. He's in the Midwest.
Either that or it's very dust bowl-y, right?
I once saw what do you call them? The tiny little tornadoes that like just dust and dirt. Like, what do you call
Oh
that?
yeah.
I've seen those before. I was like, whoa!
What's up, Samuel? Samuel's views. Samuel's views. Is that how you say it? What's
All right,
going
honey,
on,
let's
dude?
give this another minute because we've been doing this for 10.
Yeah, let's give it another minute, and then you can stare at my face, and I'll drag Shannon over to the shop.
Cyclones, yes. Dirt
Yes,
cyclone.
a cyclone. Those are cool. Those
No
are
one
really
believed
cool.
me. Just like no one believed me that I saw a bear once on the side of the road.
Hurricanes are kind of exciting, though. We've had those
Mark's
two
in
big
Michigan.
hurricanes, and they
I
come
guess there
every
wouldn't
few
be any
years.
tornadoes there.
They're kind of exciting but scary at the same time. I think people here in Houston get overexcited.
They're exciting, like to like anticipate, and then the moment they happen, they're either just like like the worst thing ever to happen, or you're so freaking bored and you didn't prepare properly, and you don't have enough supplies, and you're trying to find a route to a liquor store that isn't going to flood your car, and basically it's just a whole mess.
Yes, it's very important that you get to a liquor store when a hurricane comes
I like snowstorms.
and post hurricanes. Um, okay, so let's go ahead and kick
That's
over.
actually a comment to like something on here.
Let's okay, well we're gonna go ahead and kick this over so that way you guys can see me, even though I cannot see you. We're gonna go ahead and kick our little intro real quick, and then we're gonna do some Q&A stuff. If anybody has
Charles
any
already
questions.
has a question.
Sweet, Charles has got a question. Awesome. Hey, what's up, everybody? Matt with Mikey
Eric.
Designs. Thanks for tuning in. We're kind of just, Shannon and I are hanging out, and we're going to answer some of your screen printing questions. We also have some questions that people have just posted in our comments that I think they're pretty good questions, and we'll bring them up. So, Shannon, you said that, who's got the first question
Charles
thus
has the
far?
first question. He says, "How do you deal with color on the screen not matching what comes out out of the printer?"
What comes out of the
Blue
printer?
Gomez.
Okay, how do you deal with color on the screen not matching what comes out of the printer? In other words, the ink that you're putting into the screen when you print it and then you run it through your dryer, is it turning a different shade? Is that what you're asking? Charles, is that what you're asking? Let me know as soon as. I think there's probably about a 10-second delay between what we're doing and your chats. Hey, what's going on, Blue Gomez?
Gabriel also had a question. If we want to wait for Charles
So,
to answer.
Charles.
Oh wait, no.
Oh, on the computer. Okay. And so, is this with spot colors or is this CMYK printing, or what are we looking at here as far as colors and everything? I mean, for the most part, so when you're in the computer, you just kind of have to know your color mixer in the sense that you need to know what, let's say, for instance, if you're using a CMYK color mixer and you want red, generally red's going to be, let's see, it's going to be 100% yellow, 100% magenta. And so you just kind of have to know your color values. If you're kind of unfamiliar with what colors are going to make what, one thing that will help is getting a Pantone book. That will help. So that way you can actually go to the Photoshop, and if there's a color that you like, click on the little swatch icon down at the bottom left, pull it up, and then select color picker. And it will give you the PMS color that is close to your booklet, and then mix your inks up or however you're going to do it until it's close, and then run it through the dryer and see what it looks like. What I guess that's really it's going to just come down to you knowing what colors are going to what blend of CMYK is going to give you a certain color, and how that appears in the real world versus monitor. I mean, monitor is RGB, and what we're doing for the most part is CMYK, even the mix of colors and all that. So, and a Pantone color book, I think, will help a lot too in figuring out how to cross-reference those colors into a Pantone color book. I guess that's the way I would do it, but I've been a graphic designer since '99, and I'm just kind of used to knowing what colors are going to give what results. So I hope that helps out a little bit. It probably might not. Okay, Shannon, what is the next question for these
Gabriel
folks?
is actually asking if we sketch our designs on paper before editing them on Illustrator, or do we go straight to the computer? That actually depends on who you're asking. If you're asking me,
Ugh,
I sketch
sketching
out
on
first.
paper. You know, it was funny because when I went to school, when I went to the Art Institute, that's where I went. I got my associates at the Art Institute. And before they even would let you touch the computer, you're doing all hands-on stuff for 3 semesters. And you had to draw little thumbnails out and take it from there. I think doing designs, sketching them out first. Shannon, I mean, there's one of her little shop gnome design that is on her apron, in which I'll kick that little screen over next time Shannon's answering a question for one of you guys. But it just depends, really. For me personally, I can crank it out faster in the computer, and uh, I think for me personally, I can just get things in and out quick. If I have to sketch something out and then scan it, bring it into
Well,
the
you're
computer,
also the main
and
designer,
and
so like
a lot
the
of that,
time really is important.
yeah, a lot of that too just comes
I'm
down
slow.
to what type of project it is. If it's something where I'm doing an illustration, something where it's kind of cartoony, I'll sketch something out and then scan it. But if I'm trying to brainstorm logo ideas, we definitely get on a notebook at least with whatever we have around, a pencil or a pen,
It's
and
just brainstorming and like collaborating and
right.
building off of each other's ideas. And even on Instagram, we have one of my sketches that we are planning on making into a T-shirt for the
Let me kick
unicorn
that over.
with a chainsaw on it, like slicing through a rainbow. And I
Yeah,
drew that one out, and I started to
and
color it, just like a fast
see,
sketch.
there's her little sketch that she did. That's actually her first screen print, and I thought it came out really good. The art that she hand drew, we have it hanging up on the wall up here, and it's really cool. So,
So it depends on time to answer
mm,
everything. It depends on
yeah,
time and which one you're faster with. I'm slow at sketching, but he's lightning with the computer, and it just whatever's most efficient. We do both. Okay.
yeah. So we do it both ways. So it's whatever works for you, really. There's
I
no correct or wrong way, right or wrong way with that, really and truly. So,
All right. So
Howard.
Eric has a question. He wants to know how long it took us to receive a call from
Hmm.
the Google business listing.
Eric, we talked on the phone, didn't we? Hey, what's
Hmm.
going on, man?
Oh,
Uh,
he says he has 25 views and people are searching, but only 2 calls when we were closed on a Sunday.
that's when people want to call you, is when every other business is closed and they probably wanted a T-shirt that day. If not, then I don't know. Maybe that's when they just had some free time. Really and truly, I'm not sure how to answer that, but I know we just put our Google business listing up for the shop here, and we're getting calls. But although we have three separate locations, when the shop was in Kingwood, we still have that one sitting up. And then when the shop was in Sugarland, I just left that up, and we get calls from all of them. So, um, really and truly, it might take a few months. It might take a few months, and also it just depends on where your business shows up in the with all your competition, where it ranks. If you can, I mean, maybe go and some of your clients that are happy with your work, have them put some reviews on there. I think we
Yeah,
only have
that's
one on
yeah, that's
ours
something I really want to
at
emphasize
this
again. I
point.
think I talked about it on the last one, but you cannot be afraid to ask people for reviews. Like you just have to ask people, be upfront, and ask for help with the business.
Give me a review.
Pretty much, and we've done that, and we did that with Jaime. What's
Oh,
up, Jaime? If you're watching, by the way.
yeah. What's up, dude? He's probably working,
All right.
cutting, and
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he's
and
working, but
editing some
you'll watch this
video.
later. So hi, Jaime.
But on the flip side of that, I think that it's kind of better just to let people put their own reviews so it's not so forced.
I'm not
Um,
saying like to force it or anything. Just be like, if you're happy with us, please leave us a review.
right. No, I agree. But also, um, for it to happen organically is great. Um, to get those first few reviews, yeah, I would just say, hey, would you mind leaving a review about your experience, because it can be a little biased. Of course, if someone had a great experience, you're gonna be like, go leave a review. If they had a really shitty experience, you're gonna be like, we don't have any of that up there where you can leave a review. So, and I mean, and people that leave reviews tend to It tends to be the people that have had a bad experience. So, Eric, it's going to take a few months. Plus,
You said good to know though.
also, what does your website look like? Do you have like a Facebook and all that stuff with reviews there? And are you uh, constantly posting stuff on there and Instagram? Because people tend to go to your website and do a little bit of research and see if you're an established business. Because we've had clients that just want to come in and they said, I didn't want to pay online. I wanted to come in because I just wanted to make sure you're real,
Yep. Okay.
which is really hilarious. It's not hilarious, but I mean, it just kind of is what it is.
Okay, so the next one, Uproar, he says, riddle me this, Batman.
Uproar.
You know, I was actually Batman for Halloween last year.
She
Not
was,
Batgirl,
and I was the
Batman.
Joker.
I was Batman.
She was Batman.
He asks, what are some of the most needed tools to know when you're creating artwork in Adobe softwares?
Okay, I might have to read that. I'm not sure I really understood the question.
Or maybe I just
Where
mumbled.
was that at?
It's towards the bottom.
At the bottom?
Mm-hmm. What are some of the must needed tools to know when creating the artwork in Adobe software?
Most needed tools?
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Where's this question at so I can put my eyes on it?
Should I come over there?
No, yeah, you can come over here if you want. Come
Okay.
closer. Come closer so they can see you.
Never.
Where's it at?
Um.
Do. Is it not there yet?
Yeah, right there.
Okay, what are some of the most needed tools to know when you're creating artwork in Adobe software? So, I mean, what I use is Illustrator and Photoshop, which if you guys don't have it just yet and you're tuning in, if you need to get Photoshop or Illustrator, check our link in the description, and we have a link straight to it. And it kicked some commission our way to help fun doing fun stuff like this. Anyway, so
Close enough.
some of the the pen tool is a really big one. Learn how to use your pen tool because you
Sorry, Mark, not happening.
the pen tool is a really big one that you'll need. I mean, if this question were about Illustrator or Photoshop specifically, it would be a little easier to answer. I mean, you kind of need to know how to size your documents. Make sure you have the proper documents. Incorporating bleed if whatever it is you're doing. Like say for instance in Illustrator, if you're doing a business card design or something like that, how to incorporate a bleed. Same thing in Photoshop. Know how to use your layers and know when not to use too many layers because it will increase your file size putting too many layers. Aside from that, I mean, it's how your color pickers and where all that stuff is at. And it just depends on what you want to create. I mean, you can do a lot with the pen tool, your layering, um, masking stuff, how to use strokes, how to in Illustrator send objects behind another object. I could go on and on, but one of the things I've been thinking about doing is putting like a free on live course out there for people to just kind of teach people how to use the program. And I'm still trying to figure out when or how to go about doing that because I kind of want it to be like a school course and how I learned it towards where I'm teaching you little segments for you to go home and kind of chew on. So I don't know if you had a more specific question. It's a pretty broad question, but I hope that helped somewhat. I hope. Shannon, did that? Are you dozing off over there?
I'm actually trying to figure out how to log into FaceTime on the computer so I can call my mom and yell at her for not watching.
Just text her.
I did, but she hasn't answered, so. I love my mama, guys. That's all I'm going to say about that.
I love her too. She's so amazing. She is. She's a great woman. She's awesome. She's in New York right now?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Illustrator works. They're all really close to each other. They are. Let's see. And what other questions while I was sitting there ranting along did
There
we
hasn't really
miss?
been anything.
Uh,
So you should probably go to like some of the stuff that was left in the comments because there hasn't really been that many.
yeah. So Eric, I see Eric's talking about his WordPress and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Wix. I would go with WordPress. Um, just kind of keep gradually setting your business stuff up, and you, eventually you'll get more and more phone calls. And like I said, word of mouth is the biggest source of business, really. The internet and all that, they kind of come second, really. Okay, so we did have a few
And Mark loves
questions.
his mom.
My mom's a beep,
She is
but I
not.
love
She's a
her.
lovely woman. She
No,
does
I'm
hit me
just
every time. She does hit me on the arm every time she tries to get my attention, though.
I'm just kidding. I love you, Mom, if you're watching. Hi, Mom. You know I'm a shithead a little bit, but
Nah.
so so I had a question on it was a comment that was left on one of our videos, and the question was, does the heat or cold affect your ink any? And I've yet to get around. I'm going to do that, answer his question, but I kind of wanted to answer it here just in case you're tuned in. The heat and cold definitely affects it. Your color inks, not so much unless it's an opaque ink. That's kind of meant for, you can even print flash print it, or just your opaque inks, really. With colors, the temperatures don't tend to affect it a whole lot, but whites they do. So I think that the thicker your ink is, really, if it's hot in your shop, um, it's going to be easier to work with, but you don't want to let it get too hot because then it can. I mean, heat is what cures the stuff. So depends on how hot your shop gets. Like with our polyester ink, we put it in the bathroom here where it's air conditioned because that stuff cures at a really low temperature, and it's expensive, so we don't want that stuff going bad. And then when it gets cold, I tend to leave the color inks, like I said, I tend to just leave them in the shop. The white inks I'll bring inside when it gets cold, because when it gets cooler, it gets really hard to work with, and it can be a pain in the butt. So just try and keep it at a consistent temperature, room temperature, really. Don't let it get too hot or too cold. Let's see. What are the best 15 by 15 heat presses to get? Um, I would say really depends on your budget. We have a pretty crappy 15 by 15 Chinese made. I don't even know what the name brand of it
I don't think
is.
it has it.
It was a demo, and it really, I mean, it's been serving its job. It has a timer and a temperature, like a LCD display.
But I can't use it.
But she can't use it because she's not strong enough. So, I mean, some of the best ones are the Hottronics, the auto clams, where it's actually got the table that just kind of rolls out, and you can clamp it down and it opens up by itself, so you can go and do something and not have to sit there and babysit it. I would say those are some of the best Hottronics. They're pretty good. Hicks, they're pretty good as well, but they're a little more just kind of old school manual. I don't even think a lot of them have a timer on it or anything like that. You just kind of have to time it yourself, but they're sturdy. They're sturdy, and not quite as expensive. So I don't know. I've always kind of thought those Hottronics were pretty cool, but also have seen a video where their auto clam just wasn't working anymore. So I don't know. I would just read some reviews and get the best heat press for your money. So we got the best for our money. We got a $150 heat press, and it's been serving us well. Not gonna, we got
It
a
paid for
timer.
itself.
We got a timer and a temperature display for $150. Dude.
It was a gamble, though. It was a huge gamble. They wouldn't let us, like,
Well,
try it out or, like, even look at it before we agreed to buy it.
how dare you look at it?
Pretty much.
You're not supposed to look at it. Just it's behind door number B.
But
I said number B.
But we love our new plotter. The old one was like barely above hobby use, and Matt went full on office space on it one day.
I did. That thing pissed me off.
Oh my god, he like seriously full on office space, like slamming it down like in the in the parking lot, and I'm watching just going, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so that was something else we had bought used, and it did its job. I had to switch over. It didn't have. I couldn't figure out a way to make it work with the Macintosh that I use, and so it took up a lot of time. You had to manually babysit the thing, and it didn't have a stand, so I was constantly like switching our film printer out with that, and in between taking it out to the shop and putting it out there, I dropped it on its end, and it barely hit the floor. I was like, I kicked it once because I was irritated with it, and like broke the little.
That was a fun conversation.
Little clamp, and but that was the thing that did it in. Is I was taking it out to the shop and happened to drop it on the floor, and I'm like, oh, it's gonna be fine. We go to plot a job, and it just goes. Bip, 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 bip. I was like, ah! That was a fun day.
Matt had a temper tantrum.
Dude, it seriously, we had something due that day.
I wish I filmed it. It was amazing.
We had something due that day, and it just crapped out on us. And I didn't want to spend the money on a new plotter, but
I almost threw up.
It does a lot for us, but this thing is amazing.
It is amazing.
It's I can just stick vinyl in there, and it goes. It knows how big the sheet is and when to stop. You don't have to sit there and babysit it, and so much faster. Anyways,
we got 3 more questions that have popped up since we went on our round. Uproar wants to know about using Pantone color matching system for plastisol inks, and would that be something a beginner shop should have?
I think that if you can afford it, yes. We don't even have one in our shop. Really, if we need to match a color, we'll mix inks together until we get the right shade or the right color. It would be great to have a Pantone matching system, but really and truly, we hardly have the need to really Pantone match a lot of stuff. I mean, for the most part, you're going to get house colors that are available. They tend to be pretty close to what you need. I mean, they have 3 or 4 different shades of red: Cardinal, Scarlet, Patriot, Bright Red, and all that. And those tend to match the colors that you need. Even with yellows, you have your lemon yellow, your golden yellow, and all that chrome yellow, and all that fun stuff. And so, if you can afford it, and that's something you want to go for, I think that's cool. But also at the same time, I don't think it's absolutely necessary, because no one has ever really come to us and said, hey, I need this to be Pantone color 187 or 252. Oddly enough,
Jerry
I know
Garcia
that's red
would
and blue.
disagree with you. He said at Uproar, the best thing you could use is Pantone.
Well, go for it. I think you should. I mean, if you want to, using Pantones is great.
Bye, Mark. It was nice hanging out for a second.
See you later, dude. But, yeah, I mean, using a Pantone system is great, but, I mean, it depends on your clientele, too. We don't have a whole lot of people asking for specific Pantone color, and pretty much a lot of it's just primary colors. So yeah, I mean, if you're doing stuff where there's multiple colors in there, and it's not anywhere close to what you have in house, then yeah, Pantone system's pretty good. So I don't know. We don't even have one, and we've had zero complaints and a lot of. See you later, Mark.
Well, to be fair, we also have a very nice eye for color.
Yeah. We can match some Pantone colors with the in-house stuff. We have a lot of containers that have Pantone matched colors in it. We don't have a system though. We get as close as we can, which is pretty spot on for the most part. So
Okay.
so I don't know, guys. I mean, if anyone on here has a Pantone system that they're just they really like and they want to share with us as well. I mean, we don't have everything. I can't really say that
Shit,
we have
make our
all the
days easier,
answers.
too.
Hey, what's up, Chris? What's going on, dude?
Hi, Chris.
Good to see you here. Chris has a
It's
shop
Chris
next
next door.
door.
Hi, Chris next door.
Yeah.
That's
So
funny.
what's going on, dude?
Okay, we have
Welcome
a
to
couple
the
more
show.
questions.
Okay, go ahead. Shoot.
Chris wants to know about on water-based ink. Do you print a white underbase, then print say red on a purple shirt?
What? Say that again? That was
On water-based ink, do you
Mhm.
print a white underbase, then print say red on a purple shirt?
red on a purple shirt.
On water-based ink.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely do. Just like plastisol, you'll want to print your
Hi,
white
rabbits.
your white base down and then print red on top of it. Because if you just print red on top of that purple shirt, it's really not going to show up all that well. Although if they're going for that kind of effect, then I don't know, it might work. But if you want it to be vibrant and just like the color that's in your quart, then do a white base. It will come out looking a lot better. So,
Okay.
also, who puts red on purple? I would steer them away
Actually,
from
the
that
June
and
bugs,
say
the June bugs
use.
print. The June bugs print.
Yeah, but that's combined with a bunch of other stuff that
Okay, that's fair.
I mean, it's like a Ravens kind of design, and I just had some red leftover numbers as a display kind of deal, and I was like, designing something personally, I wouldn't use a whole lot of red and purple together unless there was black and white combined in there somehow. Okay, next question.
Okay, so Gabriel's asking if we've ever bought one of those font bundles or a single font. I don't think we ever have.
No, really. Have never bought a font bundle. What comes in the system, it really and truly, there's so many free font sites out there, like 1,001 free fonts. I'm trying to think of some of the others, but I mean, for the most part, you can get some pretty cool fonts for free, and just go through if there's a certain style you have in mind or that your client does, then I would just find something similar. If you're looking for a particular font, though, there's one thing that you can use, and it's called What Font Is, and I believe that's what it's called. What Font Is. Let me pull that up and double check because essentially, if you have a font that you're looking for, you can cut it out and then upload it to the site, and it will tell you similar matches, and you can go and find those fonts. And sometimes you can even find them for free, but if it's supposed to be a paid for font, I'd stay away from them sites because they're gonna infect your computer. Let me see it's What Font Is. So that's a pretty cool site for figuring. I use it often to help me figure out what font it is that if I need to recreate some artwork, what font to use really. So I hope that helps. Maybe I'll demonstrate that one day. Go ahead,
Andrew?
Shan.
Don't.
Everybody's gonna start. I'm sorry. Now they're gonna start calling you Shanny.
That's what my grandpa
Go
calls
ahead.
me. Pop-Pop calls me Shanny. No one else. Okay, Andrew wants to know the difference between a water-based white and a poly white or cotton. Is it worth the hassle of doing in 112 temperature? Was that supposed to mean on?
Is it worth the hassle of doing in 112-degree temperature? Yeah, it'll be fine. It depends on the humidity in your area. If
No!
ah,
Damn it.
so water base tends to it will dry up. a- Well, water base just dries up. The other inks will not. So the difference between water base, poly white,
Okay.
or cotton is if you have a shirt that's 100% polyester, you're going to want to use a poly ink. If you have a garment that's a 50-50 blend, you want to use a low bleed ink. A cotton shirt, you can use any of those inks. Really, a cotton white is going to be have a little bit of a softer hand, easier. It tends to be easier to work with, from my experience. If you use a cotton white on a 50-50 shirt or polyester, you're going to run into what's called dye migration. And if you're printing white on a black shirt, it's going to look gray. It's going to come out awful. So, water base, you know, I don't have as much experience with water base, but so I don't know. Maybe some of these guys can tune in. I'm pretty sure water base you can print on everything really. I think it's just with the poly ink that you tend to get, or plastisol ink that you tend to get dye migration. But
Is
like I said, I've water base. I haven't done as much of that because plastisol is just easier for us to work with.
Also, is the water-based one the one that dries out?
Yeah, water base is the
Yeah.
one that
We tend
you
to
have
just
to
leave
keep the
everything
screen flooded. You have to, put it away as soon as you're finished with it. I mean, it's not because we're lazy. We have a lot that we are doing, and if for us being a manual shop, water-based printing, because Shannon and I tag team a lot of stuff. Sometimes I have to stop in the middle of printing to help a client or answer some questions. And so if we were using water-based, we wouldn't be doing ourselves a favor. So that's why we really don't do water base a whole lot. Now, when it gets to the point towards where we either get an automatic or hire someone, then yeah, I would definitely like to move into using water base a lot more. But
The guy that
uh,
towed our car offered to become an unpaid intern.
he did. There's been a lot of people that have just kind of been wanting to come into the shop, and Jaime is one of them. But he's got a full time job. The other guy's got a full time job too, and um, I don't know. I think it would be great to find somebody to come in and intern, and to be able to pay them, and to get to the point towards where we can afford a third person in here. But I kind of I don't know. I kind of want one of those automatics. That'd be nice. Or we might keep it manual. I don't know. We might just keep the manual thing going on. I think our clients will really dictate just what it comes down to.
I see like the pros and cons of each side of that really, because the automatic, oh God, it'd be so much more efficient. But at the same time, I feel like with the manual, it's more like a piece of art.
Yeah, it's a hands-on kind of.
It like you're actually creating art instead of like
It's
being on
more
the
of
machine.
a craft than
Right.
it just
exactly.
being like,
You put it better than I did.
here's a machine. We're just tossing your shirts on it. We did screens. Yeah,
But I see the advantages of both.
yeah. There's more. I would say soul and hand printed shirts is more of a craft rather than
And
just
also, you guys should see this guy's arms muscles.
a product. I don't know about all that. If I were my brother, I'd be flexing all over the place, but I'm not that type of person.
Thank God. All right,
Which
so
one of
I'm not
them?
seeing any more questions. Oh, I don't know.
just
Andrew's
a lot
saying
of
something
what's
gets
up and
boring.
high fives.
So why don't we go back to, because I'm not seeing a lot of questions right now.
What part will get boring? The automated printing. I don't know.
I think he said the arms will feel good. I don't know. I'm confused.
Yeah. Well, your arms will feel good in the sense that you're
Matt's
getting
arms
a
look
good
very good.
workout, or or you're kind of relieving yourself with an automatic of so much physical work. Because when we did the long runs, yeah, that's when I'm just like, I hate this damn manual press. I want an automatic. When we're doing the all nighters, and I'm thinking to myself, only if we had
Are you talking
an
about the
automatic.
Are you talking about the nights that you're still going when I'm like literally asleep on the shop floor?
Exactly. It is those nights. Excuse me. It's
And
those
then I
nights.
wake up all
Ugh,
stuffy because I have
God.
terrible allergies.
That's when I want to go office space on the manual press, but I won't do that.
I would have a heart attack.
It would take it anyways. It's a tank. You couldn't destroy that thing even if you tried. Um, so I'm trying to think back. Let me go back and see what were some of the other questions that some of our viewers have posted on the old YouTube page in the comment section, and I will answer that.
And you guys, just so you know, I love listening and seeing you guys ask questions, comment on everything. It just feels so chill and interactive, and it really makes me happy. So just props to all of you guys. You really make this thing feel like it's worth it.
It's
Thank you
it's
guys.
it's cool. You know, one of the things I forget who I was talking to, but it's almost I don't know how old you guys are, but back in the day there was the AOL chat rooms where you just get in and it's about a specific subject
What?
and talk about what it is, cars or whatever.
Huh?
You don't know. Whatever.
Matt's a bit older
You
than
got
me.
mail.
So
I'm not that
he likes to
old.
reference things and I just look at him and stare blankly.
Yeah, and then she likes to reference things like Disney movies I haven't seen, and I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Yeah, it came out in 2000 something. I was like, well,
It was my favorite when I was a little girl.
yeah, well, no wonder. I don't know what you're talking about. You want to talk about some of the earlier stuff, then yeah. uh, good old.
There's been a couple times that he's like tried to re-educate me on like my 80s movie watching list, and then he fell asleep and I had to wake his ass up and just like scream at him, "Hooch dies!"
Oh yeah,
I was so mad at him.
I was pissed because you woke me up just
I
because
was
he
pissed
died.
because you let me watch the movie without giving me like a heads up that Hooch dies and Hooch and Turner and Hooch.
Okay, so here's one
Anyways,
of the questions that I wanted to address. It's from Waldo S. He commented on our crap day rant vehicle about the vehicle and all that. So his question is, give me 1 second here. And Shannon, I think I would like for you to take on this and answer this question. So are you ready for the question?
yes.
The question is,
I feel like I'm on a game show.
wondering how you guys deal with walk-ins. Sounds like walking ins are killing your printing time. Shannon, take it away.
I wouldn't actually say that. No, I really would not say that. For the most part, I handle the front. If you've ever seen any of the pictures of the way the office is lined up, I've got a standing desk. I look like the receptionist, even if I'm the manager or anything like that. I basically handle the clients if they have questions or anything like that. The only time that it really if Matt has to be out there and I need to be in here, the only time it really interrupts anything is if it's a question about something that I don't know or need conversation or confirmation on. And even then, I just drag him out for just a couple seconds. Plus, I like to do that anyways, just so that people can do a meet and greet with him, so that they have a face to put to everything. But it really doesn't affect the printings so much, except for when I am deeply overwhelmed with everything that's going on. And stop that. But it was very overwhelming that day just because he left to go get stuff from our vendors. I was dealing with walk-ins all day. I get a phone video from him on my phone.
Ooh, yeah.
Because
our
phone wasn't working. And then all of a sudden, and then his dad came and got him and he brought his girlfriend.
You're
And
overwhelming
there,
me just
and then all of a
talking
sudden,
about this.
two other people came in at the same time, and there's like
Yeah, that was a crazy
seven
day.
people in this tiny little room that could actually serve as a Japanese apartment. That's the size of it. And so but for the most part, it really doesn't affect it. A lot of times they just like to come in and watch as Matt is printing.
Yeah, that
And we're just quiet. We just do our job and we just
I'll
get on
let
with everything.
I'll let Shannon handle the clients that do walk in if I am in the middle of printing. And like she said, the only time it kind of affects it is if she doesn't have the answer to a particular question or if they're asking for me. But for the most part, it doesn't affect it too much. And we tend to do some of our printing later towards the day anyway, especially since it's getting really hot. We like to do some of those runs a little later. We try to get everything hammered out during the day, but man, it's been hot. It's been hot.
It's so hot.
It is. So
I've been making my own shirts. We have a bunch. We have a bunch of like extra 2XL full 100% polyester shirts. So I've been cutting them up and trying to size them to scale. So that it's just not so hot and blocky and won't, it'll wick the sweat away. It's so hot. It's so hot. And I sweat so easily.
You do. You do. You get quite sweaty and
Girls don't sweat, we glisten.
okay,
saying.
you glisten quite a
Easily.
bit. Quite easily because she's like an ice cube. She tends to melt quite a bit. she you should see her face. She's not very happy with me describing the way she looks when she's
But I always smell fantastic by the end of it.
yeah, you get all the
Okay, I want to
toxins
change the
that
subject.
pour it.
I shouldn't have brought that up. So let's just. That was my bad. Let's go.
Okay, yeah. So let's go. Next question. Okay, guys. So we're getting down to about.
Chris is actually saying, yeah, he walks in every now and then.
Yeah, Chris does walk in every now and then. And he likes to check out what's going on.
And it's all pretty chill. He just comes in and just watches for a little while, and then he's like, all right, bye. And we're like, bye.
Yeah.
Good to see
And
you.
but it's cool though. I like talking and chatting with people and kind of showing everybody what's going on, letting them see what's going on. I don't mind it whatsoever, and it's cool. It's really cool. So, guys, we're getting down to the last
Okay.
7 minutes of our little show, and so if anybody has any questions, please ask now
we do
because
have
we
one.
tend to be long or
Yeah,
long-winded.
we're actually going to hold it to the 1 hour standard because I want to go to the liquor store. Okay. Rye Beats has a question.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I see.
What's the added pressure now that we've moved into a commercial location?
The added pressure. The added pressure really is you and I will tell what some of the other cool things are about it, but the added pressure has been you have more overhead. Like when we got out of the garage, we outgrew the space, and the added pressure also. The thing that was stressful for us, we weren't used to the walk-ins. I mean, we would have neighbors say hello every now and then, but really and truly, we weren't used to the walk-ins, even though we both have been in
Yeah.
industries where we were used to that type of situation. But when it comes to our business,
Because I still associated
And-
it with the home. And so
Yeah,
people would open the door.
so-
It took me like the longest time to get used to like someone just opening up the door, me not going like, "Oi, rude."
yeah. So walk-ins really, when it comes to answering or getting quotes on the fly, that we're used to kind of getting phone calls and emails, and we have a little bit of time to put together our quotes and
Yeah, I
turn that
panicked our
around.
first Friday.
And then there was a lot of excitement when we first moved in and put all of our signage and whatnot up, because everybody, for the most part, a lot of people are interested in getting screen printed shirts at some point in time, either for a personal or a business or some sort of nonprofit type of situation. And then also business cards and stickers, like we're gonna do Alvin's trailer across the way, and so that probably was the one of the most stressful parts, and whether or not it was going to work, moving out and taking on an additional expense or expenses. But I will say that it really, I feel like it was a great move because it's put us more into this being kind of a chill home business type stuff where you can easily get distracted with some of the things you need to take care of around the house. Like now it's just kind of cut and here's what we have to do. We're going to get to work. We enjoy keeping busy with what we do. And so there's really no distractions. There's not a whole lot.
Yeah, and if I could say something,
Yeah,
my
go ahead.
mentality since we moved,
Mm-hmm.
oh my God, my mentality's been amazing. Like it's work, it's focused. It's focused work. It's not.
Shannon's ramped it up from she went from about 40 miles an hour to 110.
Yeah, my mentality is like fantastic. Now I told
And
like I
for
said I have a
myself,
standing
too.
desk. It's motorized, but still, it's a standing desk. I don't think for the most part of the day I have had a chance to sit down. I've been just like focused on go 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 go.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
So
just being in a different setting, like a more professional setting, where I actually, you know what, this is work. This is what I need to be doing.
Right,
And let's
Beats.
do the best we can.
You should definitely consider it, dude, because even I do you do what do you do for a living? I'm not even sure what you do for a living, but if your garage is getting cramped, um, I would definitely move it out
Absolutely,
because
right.
you're gonna, like, for us, we were so cramped, and the difference between having our space versus being cramped in the garage and having all this free space, and it's gonna make your workflow better. You're gonna get things done quicker. You're going to just feel a lot better about your work environment. I know I do. Like I feel this is the best we've ever had it set up, and the
Like
flow of it is the most
I've noticed a
efficient.
change even like in the way that I was stacking shirts and like all the stupid trivial things that you could like mention. Like,
Right.
like even that part was getting better, and like I had different like wording in my quotes that was more professional. My emails were more professional, and it's just I don't know. I have seen a lot of improvement in a lot of things. Like the pressure is definitely on.
I have to.
The pressure is definitely more on this way. Like a couple of times, like, you know, you feel like by the end of the day, you're hit like by a whirlwind. You're like, what just happened? And
The
that'll
days
actually ask
go
me, he's
by
like, did you
fast.
quote this person? And I'll look, I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Off the top of my head.
Yeah, Right Beats does do everything. He DJs and I think he's into the cars as well. At least some of the videos I've seen. Maybe it was just a car show he was at.
I just
but
want
I've
to geek
looked-
out with somebody on about manga on here. Or anime. That'd be awesome. If any of you guys ever like anime, shoot me an email.
Are you
We'll
into
geek out together.
Japanese manga? We were watching a stupid little show called Triumph, the insult comic dog, and he had this this anime nerd with them, and one of the questions he asked is, "Do you do you enjoy Japanese manga?" I was like, "Ha, that's Shannon's people right there." Golly. That guy.
Oh, Rybeats likes anime.
That guy was over the top.
My favorite one's Bleach, Rybeats. What's yours?
What's your favorite anime? Mine's the most generic anime. It's Dragon Ball Z.
That's not not generic. That's just one of the most popular. And it's
It
popular
is.
for a good reason. It's a very good
I mean,
anime.
aside from some of the old school stuff like Transformers, Thundercats,
No, that's not anime.
it's animation. What do you think anime is?
Anyways.
Excuse me, it's
All
not
right, guys,
Japanese
it is 8 o'clock.
anime.
We're going to be wrapping this up.
Well, guys, we really appreciate every single one of y'all tuning in. It's been fun as always.
Oh, I like that one too. Go on.
I've never seen that. Gundam maybe. But yeah, it's always a lot of fun hanging out and chatting with you guys. And we're gonna get out of here. And guys, don't forget to subscribe to all of our videos and whatnot. Keep tuning in to our Monday shows.
And I still love my Sailor Moon. Go on. I'm still talking to these people.
Don't forget, if any of you need screen printing or supplies or equipment, use our promo code Mikey Designs. And also, if you need Adobe software, use our link down in the description. That will also kind of help support our channel. And guys, we're going to get out of here. Like I said, it's been fun. And Shannon, do you want to say bye?
We love you all so very, very, very much. Thank you guys for tuning in. And like I told you guys earlier, you are awesome to talk with, and it really makes it worth it. Thank you guys so much.
All right,
we
guys.
Love you. Shop Gnome says goodbye.
We're getting out of here. We'll see y'all later.